Okay, we are live. Yay.
Live from Orlando, Florida.
I know. I was super hoping that it was going to be warm and sunny and hot here, and it's not. So I'm a little disappointed. But I'm very excited that tonight we have Stephanie Grieshop with us, and we confirmed the last name and
Yeah.
how to say it correctly.
Mintonette. You never say what club they're from.
I know from Mintonette. From Mintonette.
Yeah.
The assistant director of Mintonette, to be precise.
Legendary.
Legendary.
Oh,
Yes.
stop it.
And you, I should know this, and I would if I looked. You also coach high school.
Yeah, I do. I'm at Bishop Watterson High School.
That's
We've
Bishop.
hit the state Final Four the last 3 of 5 years. So it's been really awesome there. I'm really blessed to be there. So it's great.
Oh, awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us. We're looking forward to having some fun. We'll talk some volleyball. We'll talk some life, and we'll all go to bed wiser tonight. How about that?
Oh, I can't wait.
Well, why don't you start us off and just give us a little bit of rundown what's happening with the club, anything you want to share with the club. And I know you got some teams here this weekend. I know you have some teams coming next weekend. I know you guys are coming off Triple Crown. So just, you don't have to share all that if you don't want, but I mean, anything that's pertinent that you would like the listeners to know about.
We're not giving options. Why are you giving options about here? There's
Well, I don't want her to feel like she's got to talk about every single team in the club. And
every detail. Every detail.
Yeah. Practice time.
Every detail. Oh my gosh, there's so much. I would say, Triple Crown, selfishly, I had a great experience. I'm coaching 13s this year, which is new. I'm usually in the recruiting age group, but taking a little year off of that. And, we had a lot of fun there. We finished third in the open division, which for them, was great. They didn't do so hot last year's 12s, and so they're having a really good season so far. Other than that, I mean, we're just hitting it hard. I think one of the things about our club, and Max and I talked about that today in our debrief, but, we train really hard and we focus so much on training. And we're in that part in our season where it's hard, right? Triple Crown is you said legendary. It's in my head now, but Triple Crown is just really where we get a temperature of where we're at. And then this weekend is kind of, our first qualifier. So it's more about where is the club? What do we need to be doing? How can we change our training? What do we need to focus on? And Max and I took so many notes today. It was really funny because the parents were like, he's always writing in his book. What is he writing? And I'm like, he's writing our practice plan for next week. So, it's nothing awesome. It's nothing secret. But yeah, so it's the grind. That's when we're in the grind, and we level out, in the spring. And then I think that Mintonette, we're known for really getting after it in June and performing well at nationals. So, this is a temperature check, and we're getting after it as far as directors are concerned and how we should be training the kids. So that's our focus.
I was thinking about today, this kind of just popped in my head randomly today. And I figured since we have you on, and so it's such a short turnaround from Triple Crown to a tournament like this. Triple Crown wraps up on Monday. They start play on Saturday. You got to travel on Friday. Do you think that kind of prevents some more teams from coming here this first weekend? And two, do you think it's like a tougher turnaround on the youngers than the olders, or is it the youngers are more equipped to play more because maybe they're not jumping as high or swinging as hard, but they're younger? Or is it just hard on anybody, no matter the age group? Do you have any thoughts on that? If any of that made sense?
Yeah. I questioned that myself this afternoon. I was like, is it too much for the girls? And I even on Thursday veered off onto my own court, and most people probably don't know this, but Mintonette, we tier train. So usually you have two teams on a court. And it's really high energy and a lot of reps, and we just compete a lot. And this past Thursday, I thought to myself, Triple Crown was so intense. We played 21 sets. It was a lot. And so we just did a lot of serve and pass and some defensive adjustments on Thursday, but I don't like excuses, but it is a quick turnaround. And that's a question that I have in my head. We didn't perform at all to expectation today. And so is that because of the 4-day turnaround? It could be, and we don't know. Or is it because we just didn't properly prepare? I mean, everyone's dealing with it. Legacy's dealing with it. Mavs, all the teams that played in President's Day weekend events. So, is it just us, or is it everyone where it is a quick turnaround? I mean, it's really tough. It's really tough on any age, I think, mentally for the younger kids and physically with the bigger kids.
The 40-year-old and over crowd is definitely struggling with the
Yes.
short turnaround. We saw Jen and Ricky, and they were toast too. Everybody's tired, but it is nice to come down south. Like, you all live in freezing cold weather. So this is a very convenient time to come to Florida. I would say keep coming, because you have to get out of that cold. It's like miserable.
It was 9. It was 9 degrees and snowing. It took us an hour to take off because of the de-icing. No, it was brutal. Carol, I was in bed at 8:30 last night. My husband thought I was ill. And I'm like, no, I'm just, I'm like, no, I'm literally cashed. I need to, sleep to coach tomorrow. It's just, it is quick. So.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. Do you guys are gonna stay all week for next weekend as well, right? Is that, you don't go back home in between, or do you?
Well, this is my first year not staying for both age groups, actually. Yeah, so I'll go back home and train I'm in charge of our regional 10s. And then so I have 2 tiers as well with basically 14 and under. So I need to go back this year, but normally, yes, I would stay down here. I think Brian, our other assistant director, is staying. Max is coming back to Ohio for the practice and then coming back here.
Oh, wow.
So he's doing the dual trip, as well as our twins. I don't know if you know the Bales twins, but they're doing the comeback for practice and heading back too. So it's brutal. I mean, it's.
Oh, we lost you.
Yeah.
You'll come back.
That hasn't happened before.
No, but Wi-Fi at the hotels can be tough. So I think we have to take that into consideration. We'll wait till she comes back.
You could text real quick and see. Maybe she doesn't know on her end.
You don't think she knows that she's frozen?
I just like to cover all my bases,
Oh.
I felt like we just we're rolling too,
I know. We were doing good. Okay. I'm texting.
Yeah. Well, we're staying here all week, definitely. That's for sure.
I know. I'm so happy that we're here and not freezing, although it's supposed to heat up back at home. So that'll be kind of cool for the kids and my mom. I'm not wearing my hat tonight. I have a new look. I'm kind of liking rocking my bangs. I have to keep looking. And so that is why I am not wearing my red hat tonight, y'all. Okay. We're waiting for Stephanie to come back. Come back when you can.
No doubt. Yeah. So Kiki had a tournament today. We got to watch on streaming a little bit.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see her. But I think we should talk about sunshine. We were in the gym. We didn't stay the whole morning wave. We left because I was hungry, which is my usual.
Yeah. So. Well, the crazy thing about the 14 Open is there's only 23 teams here, so it's not a large qualifier in terms of numbers, but the quality of teams in 14 Open, there's 8 teams that finished in the top 25 at Triple Crown here.
Wow.
So,
How many did you look to see how many get a bid this weekend?
I think 3. We were supposed to get some feedback on that, but we'll find out for sure tomorrow.
Okay.
But
next weekend is like really big. It's a really big.
We'll talk about next weekend as it gets closer. But you know, part of the issue today is that you know, it's tough when you have that many teams, and it kind of becomes important as to where teams get placed. And you know, one of the things that was tough was Arizona Rev, their 14s team. They finished 11th, tied for 11th in Triple Crown. But they wound up in a pool with OT and Tribe and went 1 and 2, and they're out.
Wow.
And so that's a real big bummer. That's really, really tough to come off that. And one of those 3 teams was bound to get knocked out on day 1.
Sure.
Super tough. You know, you had Top Select and Legacy playing right off the bat, the 8 a.m. match, and Top Select got 25th. That Triple Crown. Legacy tied for 5th with Mad Frog, and Top Select upset him and beat him. That pool ended up in a 3-way tie. Top Select got 2nd. Legacy still wound up 1st, so it didn't upset seedings too much. But it's a crazy field. Like, you know, not very many teams, like I said, but it's like, wow, the quality teams are here. So
I think because everybody wants to get out of the cold. I mean, really, truly. Lila's asking if I watched the 15s today in the Liberty bracket. I did not. To be totally transparent with you, Lila, I went into the gym. I talked to a lot of people, more people than I normally talk to. I'm pretty introverted. It doesn't seem like I'm introverted, but really I am. So talked to a lot of people and connected with a lot of families, took a lot of pictures. I actually did not take film in the gym today. I was just watching and looking at athletes for the Red Hat Games. So I really watched a lot of 13s today. And then we left to have tacos and margaritas, and that is essentially what we did. Stephanie's back.
Oh my gosh, so sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Oh gosh, it kicked me out. And then of course it takes 12 minutes. You know, technology is supposed to be helpful, and I have to disagree sometimes.
That's for sure. You had mentioned Max, of course. Max, the club director at Mintonette. He's actually, we asked him to come on tonight. He said he would rather, we got a cameo. Who's making a cameo?
Anna. Hi. This is Juliana.
Hi. How old are we?
Your class of what? How old are you?
8.
8.
Technically 9.
Oh.
No, you'll be 9 next week, but she doesn't have a birthday. She's a leap day, baby.
What?
You're not supposed to share that.
You're not supposed to share that. I'd be bragging about that.
Yeah, she's special.
Aww.
Oh my gosh.
So I love it.
Maybe you can use Miss Kara when you're ready to go to college for volleyball, huh? Sure.
Don't get too excited.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So Max said he'd rather come on next week for the older. So we're excited. But we have a kind of a funny Max story. Do you want to tell it?
You want me to tell it?
Oh yeah. It might be funnier coming from you.
Oh geez.
So a few years ago, so I actually didn't know Max really at all. I didn't really become like familiar with you all until really Chris came on board. And we were at Sunshine, is it 3 years ago, maybe?
Maybe, yeah.
I think it was 3 years ago because I was here and I brought my kids. Actually, I brought Kiki.
No, it probably would have been 2 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, probably in 23.
Okay. Well, it doesn't matter. 22 or 23. So,
I wasn't here at Sunshine in
no, but you weren't here when it happened. And then I told you a few days later when you came.
Oh, yeah.
So I think it was 3 years ago. So anyways, He was here for the youngers, and I was in the gym and filming or whatever and walking out. And for some reason, I knew his name started with an M. I thought it was Mitch, not and so we're walking out of the gym, and I'm like, "Great to see you, Mitch." And I don't know if he got it, but then I had connected with Chris, and
He starts talking about Mitch. I'm like, I don't know a Mitch.
who
Like,
the hell is Mitch? And I'm like,
yeah, you do. You know who I'm talking about. I'm like, I really have no idea who Mitch is.
and then I found out that it was Max, and I'm like, oh shit. So then the like inside joke for all of us has been to call him Mitch. So
Yeah. So
Mitch.
privately, we're like, are we going to see Mitch this weekend? I wonder if we'll see Mitch.
That's actually a terribly embarrassing story. I don't think we should share that with him.
No, it's funny
Oh,
because
no,
now
you
sometimes Derek, our son, he gets confused sometimes because I don't think he knows if he's Max or Mitch because we joke so much that he's like, well, just say one. You have a 50% chance of being right. No,
Actually, once he knows the story, he'll probably just answer to both now.
Oh my gosh. He
Yeah.
answers it, hey, sometimes, so it's fine.
I think Derek wants to mic Max up here pretty soon.
Yeah, he does. How much swearing
Oh.
goes on the sidelines? It would be great.
Actually, he's so much tamer. So I have a funny story about him being mic'd up. So we were at AAU's. Gosh, this would have been, I can't remember when Jordan graduated, but it was a long time ago. So at least 10 years ago. And he's mic'd up for AAU's. And he literally is talking about our twins that we have on the team and called them Dumb and Dumber. And I was like, Max, we can't say those things on live TV. So you never know what's going to come out. No, he doesn't cuss a lot, but he does say some, questionable,
Things.
non-filtered things.
So Derek told Jason Nicholson, I'd really, really like to mic you up. And Jason's like, okay, well, wait a minute. Is there going to be any editing? Like, are you going to edit? And we're like, we'll make you look good. We'll make you look good. Like, all right, I'm all about it.
One of the things, when you cut out, one of the things we mentioned is Kiki. She played in a tournament today, and I want to know, do they do this in your region? Because this drives me crazy. So she's on TAV 11 Black, and their tournaments there, they just play 2 sets. And if you split, it goes on points differential. It's like there is no third set. So it's like you gotta, if you win one set, you gotta win by more points than you lose the next set by. And that like as a competitor, that drives me crazy. I'm just like, what are we doing here? Like, why can't we play a third set? It keeps the courts running on time. I get it. But is that a common thing for younger age groups, or do they do that in your region?
No, we do not. So we do play best of 3. And then like so I'm here with you guys in Sunshine, and I'm actually running a tournament in Sandusky, Ohio this weekend.
Ooh.
So it's a really cool skill I have of being 2 places at once. But
Nice.
yeah. So we do best of 3. Unless I accidentally put 3 of 5, and then my site director calls me and says, this can't be right. I'm like, no, that's not right. So that was a whoopsie. But yeah, so best of 3. And then if you have a 3-team pool that doesn't cross over, you do best of 5 or 3 sets to 25. And every director does 3 sets to 25, because best of 5, you can't really. Yeah, it's too long, especially for little kids. It's way too long. And then you can't really guess on the time, because it could be an hour match or it could be 2 hours. So that's just really poor planning. So we usually do 3 sets to 25 if we have to. So
yeah, we would prefer that.
Yeah.
They won their first 2 matches and got their asses handed to them the last third. And
right. Well, the first one they won because they lost the first set like 25-22 and then won like 25-11. And it's like, I mean, you didn't really win, but whatever. Nobody asked me to help.
I've always wondered, I've always wondered if volleyball went to quarters like basketball, what that would look like. So if you
Oh,
just yeah, if volleyball was timed on quarters, so 20 minutes, 20-minute quarters, and then you just score as many points as you possibly can, who would actually win? I've always wanted to experience or
Do you
experiment
get
with
a
that.
timeout? Do you get a timeout? That could be fun at the Red Hat games.
yeah.
Yeah,
Or
I
like
mean with
hockey,
timeout,
like 3 periods, like 3 20-minute periods,
yeah,
and see what happens.
see what happens. I would
Take
just
a break
it would
after
just be a
20
fun
minutes.
experience. Yeah, I think it
That'd be
would
cool.
change things.
Oh yeah, it would change a lot of things. And then it would actually probably be easier to keep on schedule too, you know?
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because there's been matches, especially in high school, because I'm a data nerd. I was a math major, math degree, almost got my doctorate, and I was just too lazy. But it's one of those things where I look at data all the time, and I hate it when I lose a match, and then I'm like, but we scored more points than they did. So that's when I'm like, what would happen if it went that way,
Yeah.
instead of to 25?
Well, it's crazy because it's like tennis. I saw a stat on Roger Federer, one of the greatest players ever, and he
Oh, for
won
sure.
like I forget the percentage of matches he won, like ridiculous, like 80-90% of his matches he won, like stupid percentage, but he only won like 52% of the points that he played. You think about
Yeah.
it, so it's like you play all these points. He only won 52%, but he won most all his matches, and it's like, well, because he won the points when they really mattered, right? So
Right.
that's where it would get interesting. I know what you're saying. You're like, gosh, we outscored them, like, but it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Didn't score them at the time you needed to score them.
Stephanie's going to Wimbledon this summer.
I am. I can't believe you remember that. I'm so excited. Well, and it happened because my husband and I were supposed to go for our 10-year, and that would have been in 2021. And because of COVID, we couldn't go. And so super bummed. We had to table it. And then Rafa Nadal retired this past summer. And I had a small panic attack because the only reason I wanted to go was to see Rafa and Novak play. And I wanted to see him, in the same day. And so I got FOMO, and I'm like, Mike, we have to go to Wimbledon before Novak retires because he's next, and I will cry if we never see him live. So that's the plan. But
Yeah. Yeah, Kara had her first taste of tennis. We went to the Dallas Open. It was in Frisco, like literally right around the corner where we lived. And she'd never been to like a live tennis match before. And she absolutely loved it. She's like, this is so great. It's like relaxing. They're quiet during the point. It's like total opposite of like being at a volleyball tournament.
Except for the a-hole next to us that kept screaming. Like, I was not super thrilled with him. I was ready to stab him by the end. It was like everybody turned around and we're like, we don't know him. I don't know this man sitting next to him, but I don't know him. It was,
to be completely fair to the man, he did give us like a little bit of insight of what was going on. So he like waited after, like, because he was there all week. He'd gone to like all these sessions. He's like, did you go to this session? Did you go to that session? Like, I sat here. And like that stuff we're like, okay, like we don't really care about, but it's fine. Okay, whatever. But after one of the sessions, him and his son were waiting to get an autograph. And I guess one of the players walked off the court and just, I don't know, it was like super rude or blew his kid off, was like, I'm not going to sign this or blah. So that guy was playing the night we were there. So he was adamantly like rooting against that guy. And he told us this whole story. He's like, I really want this guy to win. This guy is a jerk. He did this to my son. And so to be fair, it's like, I felt like, okay, he was sticking up for his kid. Like,
no, he rooted for both sides. He wanted the game to go.
That was the first match, but that's what tennis people do. Like I told you, that's normal. Like you pay money to be there. You don't want to see the match end quickly. So whoever wins the first set, they start to cheer for the loser because they want them to come back and win the second set to extend the match because it's like you get more bang for your buck. Like that's very standard, very typical tennis behavior.
100%. Like Wimbledon, the finals is way more expensive in semifinals. And I'm like, let's go to the quarterfinals. We get 4 matches instead of 2. I'm like, where I want to, and it's cheaper. So I don't know. But no, we're doing the like I said, we've gotten bougie in our old age, and so we're doing the whole, wine and dine where they drive you in and you get fed, and then they take you on a little golf cart into your seat. So
Yeah.
we're doing the whole real deal. But it's just a bucket list, So
Yeah. Well, we're gonna book the date. You're coming on another live with us when you're over there, and we want to hear
that'd
the
be fun.
scoop of what's happening.
You want the rundown?
Oh, I'm gonna have my husband come on in his British accent. You can meet Nigel. That's his alter ego.
Oh.
We
Oh.
would prefer not sober.
Oh, no. Nigel is at least 4 bourbons in.
Nigel's got the good stuff. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh. Awesome.
He's my English man. So it's funny.
Oh, awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, things exciting.
Well, I had something I wanted to bring up too. Well, so this is kind of like way out of left field for you, Stephanie, but do you and your husband share socks, or like do you go to his sock drawer for your socks, or how do you guys, what is your sock partnership as a married
Tara,
couple?
I'm really concerned about your relationship right now. No, we do not share socks, but I may or may not take every hat that he owns. I actually don't know if I own any hats. I think they're all his. What else do I take that's yours? For sure, sweatshirts. Like
But
those
that's
get
standard.
taken.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
I mean,
standard.
but yeah, he gets real pissed when I take his hats. I don't know if it's because like there's head grease that he doesn't like. But I mean, I look good in them. I just don't understand why he doesn't let me borrow them.
I love his commentary. He's like,
Yeah.
they're my freaking hats.
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Here's my question. So how many years have you been married?
Oh shoot. What year is it? 25.
We're in 2025.
So oh yeah, so it'll be 2025. So we have been actually, ironically, next week will be 15 years total together, like since our first date.
Gotcha.
And then 14 years married.
Okay.
Oh,
Buy
you
two
got
hats.
married quick too.
Buy
yeah.
2 hats.
It was fast. We met, how old are we? We were 28, 29. And then, 28, 29. Hey guys, my Cedar Point tournament just finished.
Oh,
PM Wave. That is early, not even on
that's really
time.
good.
Go team. Anyway, so we met when we were older, and it was one of those things. It's our story is crazy. It's for me, my faith is a big part of me, and my husband, and I had a really bad relationship prior to Mike, and I decided when I started deciding to start dating again, my roommate's like, go on the internet and online date. It's free dinners. And I'm like, okay. And the very first person to contact me was Mike. So I online dated for 5 hours. We kind of joke about it. But
Dang.
I didn't even have a finished profile. I just had a picture up there and a Buckeye jersey, and he's like, done. And we met, and we had tons of mutual friends, which is really funny that we never met before.
Mhm.
So, I felt like it was divine timing, but, got married quick, and Will came the following year, and now we're in that, mom life and dad life.
Mm.
So it's great.
Would there have been a second date had he known you were going to start to steal his hats?
Oh, the hat stealing probably started a couple weeks in.
Oh,
No, longer than that, probably like 2 months. I definitely had one of your hats when I was playing. So I was playing beach back then, and we had a tournament in Cleveland, and I'm fairly certain I wore his hat then.
Hmm.
I'm not happy about it either.
You just got to start buying 2 hats and problem solved,
Yeah, but I don't even know if she's gonna like the hat that I'm buying two of. So I'm not sure that I like the hat, and if she steals it, then I gotta go buy another one. But then I'm just too lazy to do it. So.
I hear that.
Love
Well-
and marriage, right?
Well, yeah, we have a sock problem in our household, so
I think
It's not really a problem.
it's a huge problem. When you have sort of
She doesn't
OCD, it's a problem.
Just so I just call it team socks. I don't do the laundry. Okay. I had like 8 million pairs of these like black socks, like 8 million. Like it was like a ridiculous amount of socks. And I don't even know where they went. But Chris has this beautiful sock drawer, and his sock drawer is super organized. And there's white socks and gray socks and black socks. And I'm like, oh my God, this is fantastic. We're going to do community socks. This is team socks. Just pack socks for us when we go. Like yesterday, we were packing. No, 2 days ago, we were packing, and he was like having a meltdown. He's like, I don't even have like all my socks together. Like I don't even have an even matched pair of socks anymore. What are you doing to our socks?
Yeah. There's 7 white socks. I'm like, okay, what happened to the 8th one? There's 11 black socks. I'm like, what happened to the 12th one? She had a pile of laundry with her clothes, and I go to do it, and one gray sock just drops out of there. And I'm like, how does one gray sock end up in your dirty laundry pile? Like, what happened to the other pair? Did you, like the other one, did you throw it this way? Did you throw it that way? Like, did you just say, well, this one just should go with this pile? And it doesn't work for me. It does not work for me. I need an even number of socks. Like that. That's how it's meant to be.
Chris, I'm going to have to disagree by honest standards. She doesn't match her socks, and she's just okay with it. Like, it is the new trend. You should try it.
No, I like. There's no way I could even do that. Like that's like, oh my God, that would drive me crazy.
Yeah. Do you have socks that are left right labeled? Because that really makes my husband mad.
You don't pay attention.
My husband hates the left right socks. So when he does the laundry, he hates having to match them with a right with a left. So he went and bought me a bunch of socks for Christmas thinking they weren't labeled, but he blew it. I open up the sock bag and they're labeled. It's just like in a yellow color. You can't see. It's like highlighter yellow. And I was like, definitely say right and left still. Oh, shoot.
Maybe that would help you. Do you think that would help you?
No, because knowing you, I would like there'd be 3 lefts and I couldn't find any of the rights. Like I don't even understand.
My God.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I don't think anybody came on to listen about our socks situation.
I don't know. I think you'd be surprised. Well,
people come up and tell us random things like about our Uber drivers because we talked about the Uber drivers last time. We did have an Uber driver today that did not drive. He was in a Tesla and the car drove, and he thought that we were in a club.
Yeah, and he was just like dancing, and we're like, okay, like this is cool.
It was not cool. I was worried about my life on the line. I totally thought we were gonna die. And it was, and I paid attention today. I wasn't even on my phone. So
well, yeah, I would pay attention too if my driver wasn't driving the car.
He was not driving the car. He was dancing. He was dancing in the car. It was weird, really weird. Okay.
I mean, the car did a pretty good job driving itself. I mean,
I guess.
I don't trust it. Like, if you know anything about my husband specifically, we don't trust anything like that because we feel like the government could take it over and just crash us if they wanted or any hacker at that
Is that
matter.
You're moving to 17 acres in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah. So yeah, the news is out. The Watterson girls know, which was my priority, but we are moving to Virginia. My husband grew up on a 100-acre farm. So him in the suburbs has actually been a lot for him over the last 15 years. So we are looking for land. We found 17 acres in Virginia. So we are headed out at the end of this club season. So it's getting pretty serious.
How far is the nearest grocery store?
25 minutes.
25 minutes. Let's
Mm.
not talk about Costco, which is like a place I like to be.
Oh.
Like that, not close.
far
Like
is
I just
that?
have to be serious about my trips.
But 17 acres, I mean, aren't you going to have like chickens and do stuff and like that sort of stuff? And so you won't have to go to the store for those sort of
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
Wait.
Bernadine and Shyla and Rita and Verena are going to be our chickens. Yeah, so we'll have chickens. It's really cool, actually. You'll have to visit. You'll have to drive down our neighbor's driveway. You have to go down their driveway first just to get to our driveway. So he's going to feel, really great. We're going to be on a hill. I'm sure he'll build some sort of bunker, and house all his guns and things. And so
I know.
we
Are
will
we
be in the middle of nowhere.
coming up the neighbor's driveway?
Have you what?
I said, are we going to get shot coming up the neighbor's driveway trying to come visit?
Yeah, I don't know.
You definitely have to call first.
Yeah, we'll have to call. You have to call. Like, we should put a call back. We'll put a call box at the end of the driveway.
That's a good.
Yeah. You need to like talk to the neighbors and get some sort of signal. Like if you see somebody driving up with like a, I don't know, blue flag, that means, they're with us.
Yeah.
Are the children feeling good about this decision? How are your kids feeling?
Well, my son, who's 11 and has friends and he's in club baseball, he's not digging it at all. So that'll be rough. But he's a tramp and he realizes he needs to do what's best for the family. But our 8-year-old Anna, who you just met, she's excited. My really closest cousin lives in southern Richmond, and we had a family cruise, which I do not suggest doing, but we had a big family cruise with like 30 people. And my cousin that I'm close with, he was there with his daughters, and Anna and the girls got really, really close. So she's super pumped to be with them. So it'll be good.
That's nice. That's really nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And what are we doing what are we doing about volleyball?
What are we doing about volleyball? So coming soon, you're getting the deets. You are the first public person that knows this information. But Mintonette will be expanding to Virginia. We are very excited. It will be Mintonette Coast. And you know how we're M.Dot, so it'll be M.Dot Coast. And we are super excited. I mean, selfishly, it's deriving because Juliana's 8 and we have 10 more years of club. But I want to see what those girls can do. I really think taking the Mintonette philosophy of training out there, the kids will love it, and they'll just thrive on the intentional training that we do at Mintonette. So I think it'll be a fun adventure for me.
Yeah, that's exciting. Really exciting.
What's it like? Because we came out. When did we come out there? It was
Last year.
last year. We did
Was
some
it?
sort. It was in the summer. I can't remember now why, but
No, we were there before.
Oh no, it was last January because we went up to Michigan and then we went there and then we went to Central Zone.
Yeah, and we hadn't moved yet. We hadn't even made the decision that we were moving to Texas yet.
You're right.
I remember that.
Yeah. And we came by and to check out the facility because it's an awesome facility. It's like attached to the mall. Like you can get to it like through the mall, like, which is really, really cool and different. Like what is that like? Is it like, did it take some getting used to at first? And are there any drawbacks, or is it like all kind of on the up and up?
Chris, it's not good. Lululemon is 2 doors down. My pocketbook is definitely decreasing on the way. So no, it's good. I mean, it's very convenient. I mean, Christmas shopping I get done, very easily.
During
The
time out.
drawbacks. Yeah, the drawbacks are, so we like the field house. It's just there's windows, on the second floor of the mall, and then everything's glass. So you feel like you're in a fishbowl, like you're always being watched. So that's kind of eerie. But the space is great. We have 9 practice courts, which is amazing. I mean, to think where Max and I have come from, when I started there, we were 3 courts and a flipping garage basically. And it was very, very intimate. It was very intimate. I remember Mary Wise coming into our Lewis Center facility and going, wait, you're producing these kind of kids out of this place? And we're like, yes, we are. So to go from there to this, I mean, it's a dream. We always dreamed of a really great weight room, and Max put a ton of money into it. It's world-class weight room, 9 practice courts, 6 basketball and tournament volleyball courts, and then me and the I call her the COO, our director of ops, Katie, share an office, and then Max and the boys have kind of their area. But it is really great. It's a blessing. If we're not on the road, we have the weekends off, which back in the day we coached 7 days a week. So
Mm.
it's been so great. It's been a wild ride. I just can't believe how much we've grown. When I started, I think we were 16 teams, 14 teams, something like that. Under 20 was my first year, which was the 3rd year of the club. And then now we're, 60 teams. So it's just,
Oh,
and we have
wow.
boys. We have boys now, and that's kicking off. It's so great. Max's son is playing. It's super fun to watch that. Yeah, it's been a wild ride, and we're very blessed and just keep grinding out for these kids.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Are
I
you
was
heading out to MEQ this year for Indy, or do you go to St. Louis?
I'm in St.
the other-
Louis, Sugar Fire, right? Get to Sugar Fire for lunch before it sells out. But yeah, so we're in St. Louis, and then Max is with the big kids in Indy. So
Got
I'm
you.
gonna be at St. Louis this year. It's gonna be the
Oh.
first time that I've ever been because Kiki's team is playing in the 11s qualifier.
Oh, nice. Well, we will have to hit up Sugar Fire. Do you like barbecue?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah.
It's called Sugar
So-
Fire. I've never been to St. Louis.
Yeah. So they have
Never
Sugar
been.
Fire there, but it's hard because Kansas City has Jack Stacks, and that's so great.
Mhm.
But they're a little bit different. Jack Stacks is more of a restaurant, and then Sugar Fire is more of a, like, we have City Barbecue in Ohio, so it's like you walk through and grab your food like Chipotle and then chill out and eat. It's really nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Will you miss going to back to Indy and St. Elmo's and the shrimp cocktail?
Mhm.
Yeah, I had a moment. So in Central Zones, Max has known that we were probably moving for a few months now. And I asked him, I'm like, hey, when we go to St. Elmo's, can it just be us? Because, it's kind of our last hurrah together. And yeah, I'm gonna miss it. I'm hoping that this new club, when it takes off, will be lucky enough to go to Indy so I can get my fix and see you guys in passing. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little bittersweet.
Yeah, I saw a ref today from Southern California that I've known for a while, and he's actually going to work at MEQ in Indy this year. First time he's ever been to Indy, so I was like, "Oh my God, you got to go to St. Elmo's. If not, you got to do the Harry and Izzy's because at least they have the shrimp cocktail." And then I told him about our bartender, the best bartender in the country, Jay, who is now at Cannonball. I think it's Cannonball Lounge at Hotel Indy. And I was like, you got to go there. You got to, I'm like, this, he makes the most, it's like, it's not even drinking drinks. It's like a whole experience. And he tells you like, oh, just think like you're sitting around a campfire and you lit the fire and now you're going to make s'mores. And then you take a sip and it's that first hit of graham cracker. And then it finishes off with the marshmallow and he'll make a drink. And it like, it's all alcohol. Like he doesn't even put any like foo-foo in it. And it's all alcohol. And it's like, you feel like you're at a campfire eating a s'more and like all you're doing is taking a drink. It's it's the most insane stuff ever. We love Jay. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing.
Mm-hmm. I don't know that I'm going to love Jay as much since I haven't been drinking.
Right. And you didn't get to go there when we were at Central Zone because you were sick.
Yeah.
And you got mad at me because I went twice, but
Totally.
Are you and Jay in a relationship now?
Well, this is a stolen relationship because I was the only one staying in communication. I was staying in touch. and have stayed in touch like the whole time. So Jay and I send messages like when volleyball's in town, he'll say, "Oh, thinking about you all." Like it's all great stuff. But yeah, Chris shows up and he's like, "Jay," and he calls him our friend. It's not our friend. You have not.
It's our friend. It's our friend. When I walked in, he stopped. He shut down. He came around the bar, gave me a big hug.
I know he was disappointed that we didn't have him come to the wedding, but we got married like on a cruise ship, so we couldn't exactly have him come.
That's cool.
It was just us. It was great, and the kids, and no one else was there. It was amazing.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any secret spots in Orlando? Any secret food spots you like to sneak away and get to?
You know of Hampton Social and that lobster roll, right? Like we saw you guys last time. Yeah, that's my favorite spot. Actually, my best friend, in fact, I'm the godmother to her kids. She's in Flagler Beach, which is a little over an hour from here. And they have this donut shop. And, we don't often engage in massive donut eating, but it is awesome. So it is definitely a stop that I like to make when I'm out here. So Tuesday, I might make that trip up to see my friend Kate and hit up I don't even know the name of the donut shop. It's just like this hole in the wall. There's literally 4 tables and that's it. Like you have to hope nobody else is there in order to sit and eat. But it's good stuff.
Have you ever done any swamp tours out here?
No, have you?
Oh my God, it's amazing. Mm-hmm.
Captain Scott.
Sounds like alligators and snakes. Which
well, if you want to go, we have the best tour guide known to man, Captain Scott. He's amazing. Anybody out there, DM Kara. We'll give you his details, and he's awesome. He knows like it's crazy. Like the swamps, they kind of like look the same. He's like drives around like just he knows everywhere. Little like I don't know how to explain it, but it's worth going. It's pretty fun.
Where is it?
It's
not too far from here, right? It was like 20-30 minutes most.
Yeah, like 20-30 minutes. He's I can't remember the little city. Actually, I was gonna see if we could go this week, but I think we're too busy.
That's when you refused to get me stop and get a hat when I asked you to stop and get a hat.
It was very suggestive. You said, "Can we stop at Walmart?" And I thought it was a joke because why would you go to Walmart for a hat?
Joke I made 12 times. Hey, can we stop at Walmart so I can get a hat? We just passed one.
Well, we weren't dating then. It was very suggestive, very suggestive. And you still ended up with a hat, and you didn't even wear it on this stupid boat because it was windy. So you couldn't even wear it. So there was like no real good point of even getting this hat at the gas station. That, by the way, you were still able to get a hat.
Do you still
but I
have
wanted
the
a
hat?
cheap like baseball hat. I don't think it would have blown off. Like I had to get a big straw hat, and it has like more circumference, and the wind caught it and would take it more.
On the pontoon boat, you didn't think that your baseball cap would have flown off? It wouldn't have mattered what kind of hat you had.
I don't know. I could have like pulled it down.
Strap on it. It had a strap on it, and it wouldn't stay on your head. There was no point in having a hat.
Okay.
And he tried to shave Derek's neck, remember? He's like, "Derek, what is going on here?"
Derek has so much hair on the back of the neck. So he pulled out a knife, like a literal knife, and was like started to. So that's like the first class service.
No, he did not.
He did. He did. And our Derek's half Mexican, but he's white as all get out, like super white. So he took off his shirt and he thought he was going to get a suntan, and he's all, Casper. He's like, "You're so white. Like it's just reflecting off my eyes. This is not okay. You have to put your shirt back on."
Yeah, because he said the alligator started to retreat under the water because the reflection was too much for them to even take.
Yeah, sure.
Fun
sorry
times.
about that.
We took him to Morton's after. We actually took him to a fancy steakhouse after. And we were a little unsure. Like they bitched at me about my hat. I had to take my hat off. at the restaurant, and I was so worried when he was going to come, but he ended up he wore his Sunday best, and he looked very handsome that night. It was good.
Oh, good.
Yeah. All right.
Does the family do any Disney, Universal Studio? Do you get any like vacation time in like that, or not this trip?
Well, we do have all day Tuesday, and then obviously Monday is always up for grabs depending on the finishes. But I asked the kids this year, I'm like, what park do you want to go to? And they just weren't interested. So I don't know
You
if it's
got the
because
best
we've gone
kids.
the last, yeah, we went the last few years, and they're like, we'd rather just go see Aunt Kate. And I'm like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
So
You guys are doing an
yeah.
amazing job parenting. Let me tell you, like whatever you're doing, you need to sell that. Like that's an amazing job on your guys' part.
Shut
Oh
up.
gosh. We just honestly don't make a big deal about that kind of stuff. We did Epcot last year, which was great because we tried to do it a year or two before. I'd have to ask Mike. And I'm like, Mike, I can convince you to go to Disney because we're going to go to Epcot and you can do around the world. We'll just stop at every country, get a snack, have a drink. It'll be fun. Well, the year that we went, it was pouring rain, like torrential downpour. So you had to sprint from country to country and get under something because it was just so wet.
Oh my
And
god.
he's like, Disney sucks. So I'm like, so we ended up doing it last year, and it was much nicer. But yeah, I think I'm waiting for Universal. You know, they're making that Epic Center, right? Like it's Marvel and all of that kind of stuff, and it opens up in May. I want to come back for that. Like that sounds cool to me. So I love
We have
anything
a
Marvel.
kids Universal
Actually, I
Studio
think I have
opening in Frisco in 2026.
I
But
don't
it's
know.
for
Oh,
like
wow.
kids.
Yeah, it's going to be for little kids, so it's not really that great for us.
No.
Oh, we're blessed in Ohio. You know, I don't know if you know this, but we like rock the roller coaster world. We have Cedar Point,
Mm.
Kings Island. What else do we have? We have like 2 Great Wolf Lodges, Kalahari, which is a big indoor water park. You know, so we have a lot in house. So it's not like a super big deal. My kids would rather go to the beach or ski or, you know, do something like that. So
Is it open year round or no because of the snow? Like that, those rides can't be open in the freezing cold, right? That would be crazy.
no, Cedar Point and Kings Island usually open in May, mid-May. But like Great Wolf Lodge and Kalahari are all indoor parks.
They're all
So
indoor.
they're open year round. But Cedar Point's great. Have you guys been?
No.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
You need to make a trip. It's like we go to flipping what's out there by Jerry's World? Six Flags, right? You have Six
Oh, yeah,
Flags
yeah.
out there.
Yeah, Six Flags, Magic
Yeah,
Mountain.
that doesn't. Yeah, Six Flags is like kindergarten compared to Cedar Point.
What?
You know, it's a whole nother level. Oh yeah,
Oh.
Six Flags isn't even entertaining. So
Oh.
yeah,
Oh, okay. Okay.
I don't know.
I would definitely want to go now.
yeah. And if you're into Halloween, they do a huge Halloween thing at Cedar Point. But it's fun. I always liked going like in May or September because the kids are in school.
Hmm.
So the lines are a lot shorter. But if you go in the
Yeah.
summer, you could easily wait 2 to 3 hours for a ride. It's
So that's
stupid.
not fun. Yeah, that's not fun.
So no.
Gotcha. Well,
So you got to
I'm
go on a
so
school day.
I'm so glad you came on. Thanks for coming on tonight. This was amazing, and we're excited about your
Yeah.
new venture.
We kept you up past your bedtime. We apologize.
I know.
No, you're good. Thank you for having me. I didn't know what I was going to get. I thought I was going to be put in the fire today, but it was actually pretty entertaining. So thank you.
Yeah. No,
We
this was
try. We try. We can't. It's kind of like how we set you up. By like the third time we get you on, then we'll like totally roast you and throw you to the wolves.
Great.
So
Awesome. Sounds fun.
All right. Well,
Okay.
we'll see you in the gym tomorrow. You can tell that I'm at my bedtime point because I'm like, okay, this was fun, but it's time to go to bed.
Okay. You're good. All right. Sounds awesome. Good night, guys. Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Bye.
Till next time. Bye.